I binged all 12 Stone Ocean episodes that Netflix had dropped. Here's what happened. So we already have some enormous problems. Hermes Costello and I aren't together. For this reason, 2022, that is my villain arc. As for my overall experience, I have already told you how I feel about batches like this. Trying to fit 12 episodes into one day isn't a regular thing, but the average person doesn't have to make a video on this, so I guess that this is just specific to me, more so a dilemma that I made for myself. But say, even if I wasn't making content, I'm not going to like the next following weeks of essentially nothing, because that's what will happen if we aren't building hype week after week by releasing the episodes weekly. As for the anime itself, wow, like I loved it. I already liked part 6, but the sort of intimacy you get from an anime in specific gets you those like ability to just enjoy the same things more. For example, the voice acting on Jolene when she interacts with Jotaro helps so much. Like, oh ho ho ho, look at me. Apparently I'm the fucking idiot because I thought that my dad cared about me. Do you want me to take care of this ambulance? Man, fuck this ambulance, man. What the fuck did you think this was? And then it progresses into that feeling when SpongeBob and Patrick had that whole pink and yellow underwear thing. Is just, you do care. That like that was, man, that was a good scream. I love Jolene. Speaking of Jolene and voice acting, Jolene. Look, the voice acted way is the only way for me now. Gwess, man, Gwess, like, all right, okay, she's toxic, right? A murderer, even. The thing is, I think I can fix this, okay? She messes around with parrots and rats. What about a frog? What's up? What are we trying to do here? Like, on a real note, man, this character is a lot scarier than I remembered. I think it's because I never really gave her a distinct voice in my head while reading the manga, but her VA is doing a fantastic job. I can easily tell you that now. But back to Hermes again. Hey, yo, Hermes, bro, talk to me, girl. What are we doing? Art style, that 5 to 6 middleman thing that they go for in the manga getting translated is what I rock with heavy. I think JoJo looks its best in 5 and then on. I think it makes a lot of sense since Araki talked about putting all of his heart into part 5, so he probably just leveled up overall after it. I mean, he levels up after every part. He's Araki, you know. But it's good to know that the good shots used in the trailers aren't just good shots. Like, the anime looks pretty clean overall, I'd say. Oh yeah, speaking of clean, let's look at Fu. Hey, yo, what are you doing? Okay, no, let's try to cut to a different. Hey, yo! So stopping it on flash flood warning is a great move, because if you're going to leave it at a time for the anime onlys to reflect, I'd rather they do it speculating about Pucci. So getting far enough to establish that Pucci and Dio work together is a good point for the fans. Oh, actually, on the note about Pucci, I'm wondering if the viewers here that are watching right now are familiar with the rule of thirds, right? Which means, hey, yo, Hermes! Oh my god, talk to me! Now, some of you are probably asking, Caleb, is there anything you didn't like? Potentially the Lang Wrangler fight. And well, to me, see, I like it more than I liked it in the manga. But you probably want to address the CGI. Well, I'll tell you this. From my research of art and my strive to improve my art, I've learned to apply the philosophy that some things are good in moderation. It does get odd. Do not get me wrong. I am not even gonna cap on that because I like y'all, all right? There are times where it's good and sometimes where it's funky. So that's where I'm at with that, you know? And as a final point, I like where we're at in the story, and I'm happy to enjoy Jolene's character in a new way. Jolene's approach towards most things does contrast Jotaro, for example. How to make friends, step 1, save, step 2, care. You know, and for Jotaro, it's like step 1, save, step 2, they join in your common hatred for Dio, because recruiting in Stardust Crusaders is like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, you know, like where you just beat them after that. They're just like, oh, like they're in my party. Jolene's more like Joseph, Josuke in that aspect, I'd say. Jolene's trust is also a huge aspect of her character, like the ability to rely on others when necessary. Like she doesn't have to be the protagonist all the fucking time. But I don't want to spoil too much of my future video on this. In addition to that, P.S. I'm going to love Jolene versus Poochie in the very near future. Well, I really don't know when the next anime part's about to come out, but yeah. The current dynamic where we're at is similar to, I'd say, Phantom Blood, because currently the case is Poochie has the upper hand, but how long can he maintain that? Who knows? I do, but that's not really the point. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Until then, peace out and Godspeed.